beautiful Leo, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career reading for the end of November right through to the end of December 2022. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details, and I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Leo, this is your career reading. I can't believe we're nearly at the end of the year, but let us see what is going to happen for you as this year closes out, okay? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Leo? What's going on in their career? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to know? Just to let you know, your 5th house, the pursuit of pleasure, is currently influencing you. So you're going to be a lot more creative than usual. You're definitely going to find new inventive ways to approach your work. Perhaps even do a little bit of brainstorming for closing out the year as to how you would like to approach next year and implement new goals and opportunities for yourself. That's that influence from Sagittarius as we have that final push for the year. Now, before I even, they're showing me an image in the water right now, and they're showing me, what is that? Sorry, there's something here. Can't quite. Okay, they're just showing me a record going round and round and round. You know, like an old-fashioned record player. Now that image has come up before for some signs. I'm not sure when or I have seen an image like that before. Now either you are literally kicking back and listening to some vinyl right now. I feel like it came up in a reading a couple of days ago even. So it may even been for your sign, but they're showing me a record player going round and round. So I mean, it could also mean spiritually you feel like you've been going a bit round and round circles in a repetitive cycle, and you're trying to change that as you close out the year and move into a different cycle. But let's see what's coming up. I mean, it could literally be that you're listening to me as you're walking down the street and you look into a shop window and you see a record player, because they're giving me this energy of what goes around comes around. So perhaps you are hoping for some sort of karma to be played out in your career. But what they're showing me is the efforts that you're putting in are definitely going to be coming back to you, that you're going to be rewarded. The universe is going to be generous and sort of reward you for all that hard work. Interesting. Look, you got 7, 7. So numerical synchronicity is already playing out in your reading with regards to your career. So let us see. We've got the Devil card there as well. So a little bit of obsessive energy. So we're just going to get 3 more cards and then we shall begin your reading. Now, the Devil card being present there can indicate that either you've been procrastinating recently or you've been feeling a little bit like wanting to close out the year and be like 2023 already. It's like you're totally done with this year. And because your pursuit of pleasure, oh, I see. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. Because your pursuit of pleasure house, the 5th house, is activated, it can be that, you know, you just want to kick back, have fun, relax, and you're just kind of like over it already. But let's see what's coming through for you, okay? Also, I would look out for the symbol or an image of a record player in the next couple of weeks, because I feel like it unlocks some sort of abundance for you. No, I've let you all know that Jupiter, of course, is going direct. So that does mean that things get easier and there's more opportunity. We have a positive influence to broaden our horizons and sort of open ourselves up to taking bold moves in our careers as well as in love. Now, the first card we got here is bees. Now, that means rewards for your hard work, okay? This is your protagonist energy. So some of you may have received a bonus or be receiving a bonus as we move from November into December to close out the year. If you're lucky enough to work for a company that are giving out bonuses, I mean, not every company is doing that. There's a lot of cutbacks actually in the majority of energy, but I do feel that there are rewards. I feel also that you're looking back. It's weird because although we're at the end of November, it's almost like you're starting to look back a little bit already and look at the journey that you've taken so far to get to this point in your career. Now it says sweetness, cooperation, hard work, focus, dedication, sweet results, duties, okay? So I feel like you are making things work in your career, but you may have been asking like bigger questions. Like, is this my soul path? Am I really making a mark in my career sector? Is there development here? Can I go further? What do I need to change in order to get the success that I desire? So I feel like that is something that you are thinking about as we close out November and move into the December month, okay? So I feel like you're still really busy working hard, but you're going to have this push and pull energy, my beautiful Leo, because your 5th house is very strong in its energy. It's going to try and distract you. Some of you may be looking at areas where you feel distracted or where you feel you've been procrastinating, shall we say, and your guides want you to be aware. It's almost like they're saying, don't get annoyed with yourself for procrastinating in some areas. Sometimes we need to kick back, relax, and just sort of like check out for a while to regroup our energy, revitalize our spirits, but just make sure that it's healthy procrastination. So for example, if you're like, it's not procrastination if you say, I'm going to take a day off just for me so I can just relax, read a book, or even just snooze, catch up on sleep, or even catch up on tidying the house, things like that. But if you're sitting there, you know, constantly like scrolling on mindless things and you're like, oh, I should probably be focusing on this project, they're indicating that is more, it's not that it's a waste of your time, because it can also be very positive for giving you inspiration. You know, when we come across something just by accident on online forums or chat rooms and things like that, we're like, oh, I never thought of it like that, or I never thought that that could be achieved, and suddenly you're getting inspired. But I actually feel they're indicating there's healthy ways to spend your time when you're not working, and they're just giving me that. So please don't shoot the messenger, okay? But they're indicating you're going to see rewards, results for your hard work. It's all coming together. You're actually building something really positive, okay? And I feel you're actually cutting out wasted time. You know, I actually feel like you're taking charge as we move into December. It's almost like you are moving in December towards creating time schedules. It's almost like, yeah, you're taking charge. I'm like, next year I'm going to do this, 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 and this. So I feel like, and I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions. I feel like you're in the flow of going, this year's done, I'm moving on, and this is what I want to accomplish. This is what I want to achieve. And you will accomplish that, okay? So I feel like you are still working very heavily towards something that is going to bring a lot of good results. Now we've also got the Cosmos. So this is after the World card in this Major Arcana deck. It's the Serafina Tarot, beautiful deck there. And I feel like you're asking yourself about divine timing, focusing on whether this career sector that you're working towards, whether it really connects to your higher self, whether it is your soul calling. And I feel with the Cosmos, I actually get this energy that you are working towards something in order to do something else. That's what I feel. There's this little shift that's happening. It's almost like you may be working away in a job that perhaps, you know, you enjoy doing or not, but you are working towards something else that may be a little bit more creative, because I get this energy of biding your time to do something. Now it could be that, for example, you're working in, I'm just going to give you an example here. You might be working in an office and you're doing your best to work through the ranks, but your whole goal is to become CEO of the company, or to set up your own company and become a consultancy or something like that. It's like you're biding your time in order to hit the big time, or hit the jackpot role that you're looking for. For some of you, it may be that you're squirreling your money away to be in a position to set up your own business, or to, you know, do something really big, because I feel big changes are afoot here. But I get the energy that there is a pathway being cleared for you, and you may have some options that you're thinking over the next 4 or 5 weeks regarding which direction you take. And they're indicating whichever direction you take, both will be very, very positive. Both will lead to happiness. They want you to be aware of that. So don't feel like these choices, you could make a wrong move. They're indicating these choices, both are going to lead to a lot of abundance and success, but they're both going to be very different experiences, okay? I definitely see a window of opportunity for you to shine in your career. And I see that this is, whatever you're working towards, I feel like you're not just going to be like this flash in a pan. It's not going to be quick success and then it's over. I feel like you're building something really solid, really positive that's going to be very lucrative for you in the long term. We've got the Seven of Wands here. This is all your protagonist energy. You're working really hard. You're defending your goals and your dreams, and you are building confidence in a sector that you work in. Male or female, not a gender specific reading. It's all about your focus, because we got a King of Wands here as well. You are influencing your destiny. Now, this, sometimes people call this a Leo card, but you know, the energy and the way I have been taught this from a long line of seers in my family, it's an Aries energy, but it's a fire element. So it's going to influence you very, very strongly anyway. So we've got your passion and your power. You're not compromising what's important to you. You're not letting anyone derail you. You are super focused on this goal, and you're going to accomplish it, okay? I see that the goal here is to be in control, to, you know, perhaps set up your own business, or perhaps even step into a promotion role, because we've got the Emperor here. So again, this is Aries energy. It's taking charge. It is leadership. And I feel like there's a lot of stairs showing up in your reading, which indicates you are elevating in your career. So I feel like you're moving on up to the next stage of your career, and it's going to be very, very lucrative. The Seven of Wands indicates that sometimes there are challenges along the way. And when you get the Seven of Wands, we can be tempted to avoid those challenges, resist them, and say, you know what, I don't want challenge. I just want an easy life. And I'm not here to tell you that, you know, you can have the easy life without the challenge. And I'm not here to tell you that life is challenging, because it's about circumstance. Everybody's going to be different, of course. But I do find you are finding an easier way to enjoy what you do, accomplish what you set out to accomplish, and have more time for you, so that life is easier. That's what I see. Now, your guides are showing me that there are some challenges that you've experienced. Now, this could be low motivation, it could be low energy, low drive, or you're asking bigger questions, philosophical questions like, what is the point? Am I making a mark? You may feel like you're not really making progress, that you're stagnant in some way, or you feel like you haven't reached your full potential, or you may even feel where you're at right now, you've hit a plateau where you're remaining the same, and you're asking, is this it? Is this as far as I get? Do I just stay in this momentum forever? The answer is no. I see you like moving past that energy, taking charge, and headed in the direction of your goals and dreams, and taking action to accomplish whatever it is you set out to do. Now, the Seven of Wands can also be an indication that you've been feeling very stressed, but you're not giving up. You're fighting for what you believe in. You're fighting to be successful. This is an indication to keep going, even though there are obstacles, okay? Because that's what I was trying to get at. The energy they're giving me is, yes, there's going to be obstacles sometimes. We all experience those things, but it's to teach us to find a way around those things. So for example, because my guys just said, for example, if you want to run your own company, right? And you've always worked for somebody else, you have to learn how to run your own company. You have to learn the bureaucracy that goes with that. You have to learn the paperwork, the legalities, the ins and outs of making sure you do it correctly. And at first it may seem really overwhelming. So it actually could look like an obstacle, like, oh, you know what, I really just want to work for myself, but I don't understand the law regarding that. I don't understand the legalities. I don't understand how to start. I haven't got the resources. I don't know. And it seems like there's obstacles. But your guides are showing me that actually you're capable of approaching those obstacles and finding an easier way. You're really looking at your career and your life in general. Like, is it worth it? Is this worth the energy that I'm putting in? Because you got a 7 of Pentacles here and you got a 10 of Pentacles. So you're about to receive a lot of abundance. There's a lot of money here for you. And I feel you're being supported and encouraged by the universe to keep going, because this card says, do not give up. In the face of adversity, don't give up, because you're nearly there. You'll kick yourself if you give up, okay? Because they're showing me an image right now of a tunnel. And, it's like a cartoon. Yeah, it's like a cartoon or a drawing that I'm seeing right now. And I mean, this came up like maybe 2 years ago in a reading. They're showing me a person chipping away at a tunnel underground. And they're about that much, they've been doing it for years. They're about that much from breaking over to the other side. But they're like, oh, I've been doing this for years. I haven't got anywhere. I'm just going to give up. And they're like that close to just having a breakthrough and getting through to the other side. So they're indicating you don't know how close you are right now, okay, to a major breakthrough in your career. So don't give up, keep going. The King of Wands is an influencer. And I would definitely say a spiritual influencer. When you get this card, you're very creative, you're aligned with your heart and your passion, and you're capable of reaping the rewards of all that hard work. Be confident in your vision. Know that they will come to life. Your thoughts are becoming things. It's so important. Things like the law of attraction, the book The Secret and things like that. I'm not here to advertise anything, but I know that The Secret, it worked for me. Okay, literally within a couple of minutes of me watching a video of The Secret, things started happening, and I was like, wow, the power of my mind is so clear. And it's really interesting. And I'm not here to be political or anything like that. Yeah, that's not my bag here, okay? Of course, I'm aware of things going on, but what I'm getting here, because they are giving me something that's quite controversial, so I'm going to mention it because it's there. I can't avoid it, because if I don't mention it, then nothing else happens in the scrying for the water, okay? And I don't want you to have a stagnant reading, so I have to just mention what they're giving me. Things like distractions, TV, news, scrolling on reels and things like that. I mean, I even do some videos on TikTok for people myself, right? So I'm not here to say don't watch those things, because I like inspiring people. But it's interesting how those things, they make us watch them and give us ideas, which is great. But if we absorb ourselves in those things constantly, we're not using our own powers of manifestation. So it's so important to allow the movie screen in your mind to create your destiny, to empower yourself in your full glory and say to the universe, this is how I visualize my life. Yes, imagine it like a TV screen or a cinema screen. See yourself living the life that you truly desire. And that is what you should be, that's what you should be seeing, and what you will be manifesting, okay? So distractions are wonderful, especially when we're tired after a day, kicking back and relax, but don't absorb yourself in those things all the time, because they're indicating, and for many years, like I love my Netflix, I love my, my movies, I love watching everything all the time. But then I started to realize that I was remaining in a plateau. I wasn't getting anywhere. I was just, accepting life as it was. I was working hard, don't get me wrong, but I always seemed to be in the same place. And, with just, paycheck to paycheck, just about breaking even in order to live. But then I stepped back and was like, okay, I'm being distracted by too many things. I need to really start visualizing and try and implement what all these people were saying to me, what The Secret was saying to me, what, all these videos I was seeing about law of attraction. I was like, okay, I'm going to do an experiment. And I kid you not, as soon as I took a step back and started to experiment with visualization, then things started happening for me. I also, watch videos online myself of other tarot people, other YouTubers, because I also get inspiration and I get the feels, I get goosebumps, and I can visualize using their tools as well. So it's important to keep a broad sense of what you're watching, but at the same time, make sure you have time for visualization for yourself, okay? Now, it's gone in the water now, so I can move on, but I know that sounded like a bit of a tirade. I do apologize, but I have to give it as I'm getting it, okay? Now, King of Wands is action. It's also a card of stepping into a leadership role. To go from the King of Wands to the Emperor is like getting serious about what you want to achieve, getting strategized, implementing a plan. And I definitely see you closing out the year inspired to create a plan for, your vision for the future, because the Emperor looks to the future with vision. So I definitely see that King of Wands energy for you being empowered, inspired, and setting intentions and goals. Also, there may be, and I'm picking up a slight energy, there may be someone that you're working for who I feel like you kind of respect that person, but it feels like they've got a lot of influence, and it feels like it's almost like they keep you at a distance, okay? They actually have a very high opinion of you, but they're very defensive against you because they see that you have a lot of talent. And now I'm not picking up jealousy. I want you to be aware of that. I'm not picking up jealousy, but I see that this person looks at you like you're a threat, like you have a lot of skills and a lot of talent. You're really creative and you've got the fire burning in your soul. And they see that you're someone who's going to accomplish great things. But in some way, I feel like they've tried to manipulate a situation, or they've tried to control a situation in order to make you work harder. So if you are dealing with a boss, for example, who has been hard on you, maybe for Leo, or even someone that you work with that's been extra hard on you, know that this person, they're afraid that you could do their job and then some. Okay, now of course you can't change that energy, but I do feel like it will, as you come into the new year, I feel like they kind of mellow out. They start changing the way that they look at the situation. They're realizing that you're an asset to work with rather than a threat. So I feel like you, a lot of you are going to elevate from one position into another. So you may get a surprise promotion. The way that you work is ending, is what they're showing me. As you close out the year, the way that you work is ending, and you're stepping into some sort of new responsibility. Or, I mean, some of you may have been just given an appraisal, for example, and you're looking at taking on more responsibility that brings in more money. You're going from a 7 of Pentacles to a 10 of Pentacles, okay? Now, in the resistance position, we've got the coffin. So it's like, and the coffin is not to be scared of. It means something is coming to an end, or an old way of doing something is, you know, like an outdated practice or something like that is ending. So it's in the reverse. So when you get it in the reverse, it indicates there's like ongoing talk about revamping the way that you work, or restructuring perhaps the way that you work, whether it's your ideas, you know, like I need to be more time efficient, or whether it's like, okay, that program really doesn't work. It just creates more work for us and has so much time spent on it that it's just not a viable tool to use within our workspace. So you will be hearing of like new programs or new ways of working being implemented. There may even be a restructuring of the office. If you work in an office, there's restructuring happening. With the coffin there, it says completion, transformation, death, ending, painful changes, grief, and defeat. But it's in the resistance position. So I feel like you managed to escape any difficulties per se, but I feel like something is coming to an end. It's like an outdated practice. Whenever you see a coffin in the tarot, it tends to be on the judgment card. And the judgment card is about understanding what you need to do to leave your old life behind and listen to your true calling and to be on your soul path. So a lot of you are going to be asking the bigger question as you move into the new year. Do I love what I'm doing? Does it pay me enough to live and enough to save? Despite the circumstances that we're experiencing with inflation and prices going up and things like that. Also, is it something where I feel like I'm making a difference? So I feel like you're going to be asking those bigger questions in your career. And if the answer is no, then I feel like you are making the changes. You may be leaving a space in order to get a better job that pays more money. I would say be mindful. When you're moving from one job to another, I get this energy that you're going to take on a lot more responsibility, okay? And because we got the Devil card there, it can also mean that you're going to be like obsessive about that work. So it can mean that whilst you're elevating in your career, it may rob you of time to spend with friends or family, things like that, because I feel like you're stepping into a higher pressured domain, okay? I feel like it's temporary, as in you're going to, maybe for the first 3 months, it's going to feel like high pressure, but then it's going to feel like, okay, everything's slotting into place. It's becoming second nature, and then you're enjoying it a lot more. But I would just be a little bit mindful that in the first couple of weeks or a month, you may feel like it's such a shocking change. even if you're staying in the same company and you are offered a promotion, for example, you may feel overwhelmed with a new way of working, but then it all slots into place and it is worth it. They're giving me this energy, it's worth it, okay? So just watch out for that. Now we got the Magician in the resistance position again, so it's like it's in the reverse. When you get this, that's the energy that's coming through. You may have felt very scattered in your energy, like you're asking a lot of questions or feeling a little bit confused about your journey. And it may have made you feel like wasting time because you feel like you're not reaching your full potential at where you're at. And you're capable of so much more. And as you move into the new year, you're actually going to take charge and realign your focus. So for example, if you're in training right now and you're at university, for example, and you're like, okay, I really love doing all aspects of what I've been training for, but I really want to focus on this one thing. I want to hone my skills in that area. Same as if you're in, whether you're working for yourself as an entrepreneur, you may be like, okay, there's so many administrative tasks and it really bogs me down and I'm starting to do really well as an independent provider. Maybe I could outsource some of the contracts or outsource some of the paperwork so that I could focus on the creative side, the bits that I love doing. So I definitely see you looking at the way you work and restructuring. Same as if you work in an office, I feel like you're definitely like finding a way to delegate your time or outsource projects in order to have more time for you to do the stuff you love doing, if that makes sense, okay? But the Magician card is also a card of manifestation. It's so important. The Magician card visualizes, turns visions into reality using inspired action. Now you've got the inspired action and they've already Spirit has already given all of us, because I'm here in this reading too, and although it's not a reading for me, I do have a Leo moon, but although it's not a reading for me per se, well, it could be, because I can never read for myself, that's why I'm saying it. I definitely understand that nature of procrastination, because when you get the Magician in the reverse, it can talk about procrastinating on things because you feel unfulfilled or you feel like things are a bit stuck in a rut right now. So we just go for a quick fix onto social media or something like that, just to make sure, it makes us feel like we're doing stuff, like we're alive, that we're in the flow, okay? So they just want you to, of course, by all means, check out videos online, do all that. I'm not saying don't do that. They're indicating make sure it is in some way healthy for you, okay? And perhaps create structure. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, and the only reason I do say that is because Seven of Pentacles is a card that asks, is it worth it? You know, Seven of Pentacles is like, there's a couple of energies coming from this. Seven of Pentacles is like you're working really hard, a lot of investment, and as you can see, you're starting to see that things are growing, things are slotting into place. But right now, there's only an opportunity to take one coin. So it's like it's a slow development. And whilst that is ticking on in the background, and it's a wonderful opportunity, you may be investing a lot of hard work into an area where you feel like you're not being paid as much as you truly deserve and desire. So some of you with the Seven of Pentacles may try to find an alternative way of working. You may even find a second stream of income or a side hustle, something creative that you do that can bring in extra finances. They actually give me a song. I'm just going to pop that song there for a moment. I'll come back to that in a minute. The Seven of Pentacles is opening yourself up to new strategies, okay? Finding a new way, being at a bit of a crossroads, asking yourself, all the effort that I'm putting in, is it worth it? If it's not, how can I restructure my time so that I've got more time for me, or open myself up to new opportunities that could be more rewarding? Because you do have a Ten of Pentacles, okay? Ten of Pentacles indicates, with it in the reverse, because that's how it shows up in the reversal position there. It's like with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like there's been a bit of procrastination going on because you feel like you're not being rewarded for all the hard work that you're implementing. And the Ten of Pentacles indicates you feel like you're not getting a good deal financially, okay? But this energy, this position, everything gets turned around in the upright by the end of the 4 to 5 weeks, okay? So I definitely see you making progress financially. Some of you may be working for the family business, for example, and you may have felt that you were undervalued, or you may have felt in some way that you felt a bit stagnant and you felt it's not as rewarding as you'd hoped for. So you may be feeling a little bit frustrated and trying to expand the business or find a niche, something that perhaps you can do that really is like your domain. So for example, I mean, it doesn't have to be a family business, but if you're in a partnership, for example, or even if you work, whatever you do for work in general, it's like finding what you're really, really good at and then becoming the master of that craft so that everybody comes to you for that. And you're like, this is my special domain. I'm king of this or queen of this. Okay. So I definitely get you taking charge there. Ten of Pentacles, more reward, because this goes to this. And this feeling like not ambitious or feeling like there's no rewards, they both go in the upright, which means that your hard work is worth it. You start to see rewards. Some of you are going to receive a bonus or some sort of increase in your finances for the efforts that you've put in. Sorry, that was meant to be upright. I do apologize. They're both to be upright there, okay? So I definitely see financial reward. I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that tell me there's success here for whatever it is you're working towards. You've got a plan and you're sticking to it. And I feel like you're restructuring it to make sure it works. Also, Ten of Pentacles is security, okay? Affluence. It is about building financially, growing wealth. This could be generational wealth that you're going to build for the future. So I feel, you know, there's a lot of videos that say, you know, have 7 streams of income and all like that. I mean, I'm not really very good with all that because I'm like, oh my gosh, I got no time. But I get this energy of you really focusing in order to use all the skills you've got in order to make life and career and money work for you. And I see you doing a lot of thinking over the next 4 to 5 weeks about how best to implement that, having the courage to take the first step and go for it, okay? No matter how hard it looks. You know, they always say things like, oh, you can't do that. Nobody does that. Or, yeah, I've heard that, you know, you could set up a YouTube channel, for example, but no one really gets successful. No one really, you know, it's only one in like, and I don't really know the statistics on this, but it kind of puts people off straight away, right? And if in my life, if I ever listened to every person who told me not to do something, you know, then I would be just in the same sofa, just doing nothing, right? So it's about really listening to your intuition, listening to your heart, listening to your passion. If someone tells you it is not possible, if someone tells you that it cannot be done, you are unique, my beautiful Leo. You're capable of greatness and you're born to shine and stand out. Just because it did not work out for somebody else, and I'm sad for that person that it didn't work out for, it doesn't mean it's not going to work out for you, okay? Also, if you've had any disappointments or setbacks, because I do see obstacles here that you've gone through, and it has been difficult to remain motivated, to remain feeling like you're making a difference, and to remain feeling like you're working towards something. I can see those obstacles, and I know that it has been difficult for you. I can feel the energy, but they're indicating there is reward at the end. It is worth it, and you are working towards something. And anything that has been stagnant or didn't go in your favor, they're indicating that it was taken from you to point you onto another path that is more rewarding, because rejection is protection and redirection. There is a better way, okay? It doesn't mean you're not going to get your goal. So for example, if your goal is to achieve this point, and you're starting here, I hope you can see this, you're starting here, okay, and you're thinking, okay, the best direction is to go straight. So I'm going to take the straight route to what I want. But the universe says, nope, we've put a block here. That does not work for you. We want you to go to the left. So you have to go over here. And you're like, oh, an obstacle. I feel like I'm not making any progress. I feel like it's not going to work for me. But the universe is sending you over to the left because there's either somebody you need to meet in that direction, or there's an experience you need to have in that direction, or there's more reward or a better way to go in that direction. Whenever we are redirected, sometimes it feels uncomfortable, or it feels like we're failing in some way, or we're not hitting our target. But the universe is sending us in that direction because there is something to embrace or something to help us in the long term. Okay, so it's important to realize redirection is actually a gift. Okay, it isn't. I've been redirected many times in my life, and whilst it sometimes feels very frustrating, in the long run I've gone, oh, I was meant to do that because I was meant to meet that person, because 5 years later that person was an integral part of my journey. I didn't know it at the time, but they are. So it's important to remember that. Okay, now we've got the Rider. Now this is the outcome energy. This is movement forward. This is, you know, success, taking action, As you can see, this rider is headed on the path towards the sun. So you're headed in the direction of your dreams. I definitely see movement in your career. I see good news coming, reward, new information. So some of you are actually going to put yourself on a course of learning as well. Now they're giving me you're going to be rewarded for your loyalty and dedication to hard work, because horses are also about loyalty and commitment. But they're also giving me there's going to be an opportunity that comes towards you, okay? And you may have to think spontaneously, like on the spot. So for example, your boss may bring you into your office or into their office in the next 4 to 5 weeks and say, hey, Leo, we've been watching your work because I see that people are noticing your skills. You're very talented. You're very gifted at what you do. You have the magician card, which means anything you turn your hand to, you can make it a success, okay? And not many people get that energy. So you'll be brought into your boss's office, for example, and they say, we've been watching you and we think you're awesome. We want to elevate you. We're thinking about giving you this new position, but you may need to transfer to another branch. So we'll leave it with you. We'll give you a week to think about it. Let us know. And you're like, oh, okay, this is the promotion of my dreams, but it comes with some sort of plot twist where I need to relocate. Can I do that? There's a spontaneity about some opportunity that is headed towards you in the next 4 to 5 weeks. And even as we move into the new year. So I want you to be aware of that. Now, the Emperor card is all about success, of course, but it is you being successful in the strategy, the plan that you have. This is about taking charge, structuring your day. This is about building something and expanding, creating a legacy. So if, for example, some of you may be leaving your workspace and entering a new position in the new year, or you may actually be deciding to set up your own business, become an entrepreneur. You may even run things alongside each other. So have 2 streams of income, remain in a business that you're working in and set up your entrepreneurship on the side, because we've got the 2 energies there, okay? I definitely get you thinking about how to move forward and strategizing for 2023, even though we're not even December yet. Also, you're trying to think about how you use your knowledge in order to elevate in your career, because you have a certain set of skills that no one else has got. You do things in a very unique way. They're showing me a snowflake right now. Snowflakes, whenever they show me snowflakes, it means individuality. It means no one is like you. It can also mean that you're crystallizing ideas, formulating a plan. You may also have lots of ideas that are fleeting, but the ones that are important will stick with you. They want you to be aware of that. Now, I'm going to pull a card on the Devil, but my guides have informed me that it's connected to the 5 of Cups. Don't think about all the things that have gone wrong. Think about the things that the universe is about to provide, because the Devil card is a card of, it's like a brick wall. It's not an evil card. It is to get to some point in our lives where we feel bonded to a situation that we feel we cannot get out of. So for example, the Devil card is the first step on liberating yourself from an area where you feel stuck, because you identify the area where you feel stuck. Now this could be confidence. It could be you're angry that you feel at some point you've hit a plateau, or you feel like someone tried to stop you from being successful. The Devil card can also be like living excess, like, you know, going out partying, spending all of your money, etc., but at the same time you're like, oh, now I need to get focused or clear on my career, and you may feel pressure. Now, I'm not saying you've got to do those things. A little bit of what you fancy is important. Going out, having fun with friends, and you know, treating yourself is important, okay, because we need to have those things in our life as well. But the Devil card is like, moderation. They're giving me the word moderation, okay. So I'm just going to pull a quick card here, because the Devil card can also be about anxiety. You're making some major changes in your career and you're a little bit nervous. What they're giving me the word breakdown. And I don't mean as in you're having a breakdown. What I feel like, it's like break down the tasks. Sometimes we feel what we want to create. This is the master creator right there. Sometimes what we feel we want to create looks like a big old mountain. It looks like something huge that we have to climb. But once we start to focus on the details, once we start to really break down the little steps, suddenly we're taking 1 step, 2 steps, 5 steps, 10 steps. Suddenly we got the whole job done. So it's like break it down so it doesn't feel so overwhelming, and then it becomes second nature. It's just happening. So I'll just talk about the 5 of Cups. That song keeps coming. Okay, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. They're like, what about the song? What about the song? Okay, so let me just check in with the... Okay. Okay, it's really muffled, so I'm really trying to catch it. I do apologize. Will pick up your feet where at... I can't quite get that bit. So I slave all day without much pay because I'm just biding my time. Wow. Wow, that's literally what I said. That's literally what I said right at the beginning of the reading. Biding your time. Oh my gosh, that song. What is that song? I couldn't quite grasp the first bit of it, so I slave all day without pay or something, much pay. Stop now because I've said out the lyrics. Okay, so I don't know who sings that song now, but it sounds familiar to me, so maybe I have heard it before, but I can't. If I want to take a, I mean, is it Roy Orbison or... I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. Okay, it doesn't... I feel like it's the lyrics that are important anyway. It doesn't matter about the song. You may hear that song in the next 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, look up the name of the song. I will look it up as well. This may be a song that's relevant, that indicates you're biding your time, obviously, to something better. Something better is about to come along. That's what the 5 of Cups literally means. It's like, don't think about all the things, the difficulties or the shortages or what you feel like you lack right now, because the universe is actually bringing you something better. You may have been disappointed in some area of your career. Typically, the 5 of Cups, the figure cries over 3 cups that are spilt, as you can see. 1, 2, 3 cups overturned. And here, the universe is offering 2 other cups. So there's something more rewarding. Don't obsess over the things that have been difficult or been going wrong. I know it's easier said than done, but try to be as positive as possible about the changes that you're making, because they bring more abundance. There's something better, something that you're aligning your heart with, that you've been attracting, that is showing up for you, okay? Yeah, so I'm just going to pull a card on the Devil card for you. Let me see what this obsession is, or what this Devil card represents. What's the blockage? Hangman, waiting, biding my time. Maybe that's what the song, yeah, biding my time. Hangman, you feel like you're in limbo before you can take action on something, but actually they're indicating that the Hangman energy, that limbo, that waiting energy, is actually lucky for you. They're really highlighting the horseshoe, the good luck symbol right there, because there is purpose in patience. You don't want to rush into anything. So I'm just going to pull one more card. Can you clarify that Devil card? Okay, I understand. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, and Angels. Okay, now how do I... Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. How do I give you this message? It's like... Now, my readings are not meant to be religious, and I don't even know if this is a religious saying. So, but I'm going to give you what they gave me, which is, idle hands make devil's work, is it? So I feel like sometimes when we feel unstretched or unfulfilled, we start to seek out quick fixes. I've already discussed that, so I won't go over that again. But they're indicating the Page of Swords is to investigate something, either to put your resume out there, to put the feelers out there. It's like you're investigating an alternative. It's like you have a beautiful mind, Leo. And when you get the Page of Swords, that, you know, connects to genius level. It connects to someone who is very scholarly. Whether you have gone to university or you've gone to the school of life, you are really incredible with your mind. And if you feel like you're waiting around and you're unstretched and you're not doing anything, you can feel like you're unstretched. You can feel like uninspired or unmotivated because you feel, is this it? So I definitely get you restructuring the way that you work to find something new. I also see some of you may even be headhunted, okay? So I'm going to leave that there. There's a lot of good things headed your way. You're headed in the right direction. I would say Be mindful about obsessing on things that you feel have been going wrong for you. I mean, again, it's easier said than done, I know. Whenever things like go wrong for me as well, I'm just like, oh, you know, sometimes, for example, I've done videos for y'all and then found that actually the camera died and I didn't know, or that the sound didn't record. And, you know, in those moments, sometimes there's a lot of expletives that come out and you're like, damn it, and stuff like that, and lots more, which I'm not going to repeat right now. But you take a pause and you're like, do I have any control over this situation? Can I do anything about this? If the answer is no, then why are we just using that energy that could be used productively into something else? So you just pick yourself back up like I would do, put the video back on and channel a new message. Put your, you know, take a break, have a coffee or have a juice or water, come back to it after having a breath and say, okay, now I'm in control of doing it another way. So it's important to realize that. We've got Giraffe Visionary. Very important. Rise above the earthly matters. That's what we were just talking about. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. Love what you do. Love the people around you. Your warmth. When it comes to your career, you're a really good people person. Even though sometimes you need to be in less people-y situations, shall we say, to recharge your batteries. And sometimes you don't always have to shine, but you're really good with people naturally as well. So that is an asset when it comes to your career. So they just want you to be aware of that. But the visionary looks to the future, and that's exactly what I feel from your reading. You're looking to the future in how to make a move. Also, giraffe energy connects to creative planning, mapping progress, being inspired, and sort of aligning yourself with what you truly desire. And the universe brings you what you need, brings you what you can see for the future. So I feel this is all about future thinking, you being that visionary. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket before we close. Angels watching over me. So, I mean, there's a big old heart right in the center there. Lead with your heart, my beautiful Leo. I feel like your guides are whispering in your ear and guiding you within your intuition. So listen to that heart of yours. But I feel you're being guided to something better. Yes, you may have been going through some difficulties and it feels like it's a never-ending road that leads to just hardship and a big old slog, and it feels like nothing ever changes. But there are changes being made, and I feel like you're in control in a lot of those changes, and there is better to come. I would say don't become a workaholic, because I feel like you are actually restructuring the way that you work, and at first it may feel very overwhelming, but you will get into the flow of things and then it starts to get easier. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. They just give me this before I leave the reading. When things really matter to us, we tend to get really frustrated and upset when they just don't go the way we expected. Sometimes expectation is... Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Sometimes expectation is the hardest because we have an idea how we feel it should be. But sometimes the universe comes and delivers how it should be. And it is often much better. But we fight against those changes because it's not what we expect. So just be mindful of that, okay? Sometimes expectation keeps us stuck, is what they're giving me. So I will leave that there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you, my beautiful Leo. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is very, very important for me too. Also that song, listen out for that song. I'm going to find out who sang it, what it is called. I mean, they were showing me a record player at the beginning, and I feel like this is a song that comes from an era that would have been played on vinyl anyway. So I feel like it's like it's an older song. That's what I'm getting. So maybe the two are connected. So look out for that. Okay, before we leave, wow, they give me another image before I go. They're giving me an image of a stork. Whenever you get the stork, it means good news suddenly appears, or there's suddenly movement, or you're going to have to be very spontaneous because an opportunity is coming your way. So look out for that before the close of the year, and just on the cusp, because I feel like it's before the close of the year, into the new year, that period, okay? There's something really exciting that you're going to welcome in, shall we say. I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Leo. Love and light.